All right. This shit never works. All right, well, on today's episode, we have my dirty, old, nasty steering rack that I didn't clean in preparation for this video. And we are going to be going over a new product we have on our website called the Tight Fit Fabrication S-Chassis Power Steering Fittings. Yeah, so we got these fittings from Tight Fit Fabrication. These are supposed to be perfect fit fittings for power steering racks. Some of you might know this, some of you might not. These fittings that thread into your, well, there's usually just stock lines with OEM fittings that go into the steering rack here. But if you get aftermarket ones, most of the time the aftermarket ones you get will leak. And this has been a big problem for many years. There's a Zilvia thread on it. These things always leak. So I don't know where I got these. I just found these in my car. I don't think they're the same because these are actually, these got to be some kind of steel. It seems like stainless steel, possibly. This is aluminum, but come closer. I'll show you what happens here. So these fittings basically require kind of like a long shank at the end of it with an O-ring. And the depth of this part is what's important. And it seems like these power steering racks for S-chassis and like a couple of their cars, I think RX-7 FCs are the same, they require a certain depth that's not that common. So this company went out of their way to make sure that these new ones they made fit these racks properly. But let me show you the problem with the, a different aftermarket fitting for now. This piece of the fitting would be at a different length. So the O-ring wouldn't be able to seal properly, which would eventually leak through the threads, and then you get leaks down here. And that's actually probably one of the reasons why this is so disgusting, because it probably was leaking. And then also, another thing that happens is the O-rings will either get completely destroyed like that one, where this is basically flat now, because the height of this might not be correct. Or, I mean, this could happen after, after a bunch of years of use, but not that bad. That one's pretty bad. So that's the first one. Let me just take this off and see what's going on in here. I mean, you could see like there's already like grease all around it and it's coming out. So obviously it was leaking. And it's leaking, they leak and then they collect dirt. Yeah, this was definitely not good. But anyway, we found Tight Fit Fabrications through a thread on Zilvia. Because I remember the thread, and we were working on a team member's car here, and we needed fittings. So I had to find these, and he's still making them. So we made a deal with him, and we're now selling them on the website. So you can get these directly on the website. We will also be making a power steering cooler kit soon, and these will be in the same kit. Let's take a look at these. I kind of want to take my gloves off because I don't want to ruin these. All right. So these are individually bagged in here so they don't get marked up. Take a look at this. Oh yeah, this is way different than that. This is way beefier. It's just heavier, so it's definitely not aluminum. This would be this one. Oh, well, there you go. I mean, there's the proof right there. So this is going to bottom out in the steering rack. This obviously was not. So, I mean, that's the proof right there. So this was definitely leaking. So there's two different thread types. And these obviously go to AN, so you can use AN lines. This is not for like a stock setup. This is the old one. This would be the new one. Same position in the steering rack. It's just this one actually fits properly. And then this would be the other one. Same situation. This is longer. So this O-ring is going to bottom out inside the steering rack and not give it any room for all the power steering fluid to leak through, which is definitely what was going on with the old ones. So I don't know where I got these old ones from. Maybe, they literally might be on eBay. I don't know. You might find something like this on eBay and it'll say it works. And it'll work, but eventually it'll start seeping out and leaking because it's not the proper length. These are way longer, so. And he designed those directly to fit S-chassis racks. Dave, can we put that car in the air? I want to see what these look like. Yeah, we got to see the fittings. Stock OEM cooler line here, which I believe goes like this. It's just so we can give you a comparison. So this would be a stock size fitting. Let me see what his looks like. This is the bigger one. I mean, you can see right there. It lines up perfectly. So that's how he did it too. I'm pretty sure he used the OEM lines. But then you take this other one I had in there, which is from eBay or something, and that is not gonna work. So obviously it's not bottomed out, so it's gonna leak. So there's a good comparison right there. Let's go check them out on a car. So these are the fittings in the power steering rack. I mean, they're not completely bottomed out, but they're almost bottomed out. So you have a little bit of gap there. I'd probably still put thread sealant on there just to be safe, but they shouldn't leak at all with the O-rings. Chris, is that an NPT fitting? Is that NPT or no, the threads that go into the rack?
No.
It's not? Okay. But yeah, like I said, these are for AN lines. So this is all aftermarket. We're running a cooler setup on this, and then this is an aftermarket high pressure line. So they both have AN fittings. This is the cleanest solution to your power steering setup. But yeah, I would definitely get those fittings. Those fittings, that's been a problem for a long time with these cars. Every time we go to order those fittings from someplace, they end up leaking. So this is my personal preference so far. These are the ones we trust. So if that changes, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, these are the ones we're using for our new power steering cooler setup that will be coming out soon. And we also will be selling them on our website separately in case you have your own custom setup you want to run. But yeah, so check it out. That's all we got.